Grace, you did what? I signed up for a public speaking course, a real one, in person with strangers. You signed up for a public speaking course? You, Grace, who speaks confidently to thousands of people on this podcast. That's different. This is a room with people looking at me with no script and no editing. You were nervous? I was terrified. Grace, why? Because I realized something uncomfortable. I am very good at the things I already know how to do, and I have been staying there in the things I know for a long time. Your comfort zone, my comfort zone, and it was time to leave it. Hello, everyone. I'm Grace. Welcome back to The Speak Bench, episode 7 of our Life and English series. And today, comfort zones, why we build them, why we stay, what it costs us, and how to leave. In English, let's go. Hi, everyone. I'm Jack, and I am still processing the fact that Grace, the calmest person I know, was terrified of a public speaking class. This is important. Let's talk about it. Grace, what exactly is a comfort zone? Like, define it properly. A comfort zone is the psychological space where you feel safe, familiar, and in control. Inside your comfort zone, you know the rules. You know what to expect. Your skills are adequate. Your anxiety is low. For me, managing projects is my comfort zone. I know the language, the process, the expectations. I feel competent there. And the comfort zone is not a bad thing. It's where we rest, recover, consolidate what we know. The problem arises when we never leave it. Safe but stagnant. Safe but stagnant. Stagnant means not flowing, not moving, not growing. Like still water that doesn't move, it becomes stale. If you stay in your comfort zone permanently, you stop developing. You stop challenging yourself. You stay still. And still feels safe, but it's not actually safe. It's just familiar. Familiar and safe are not the same thing. Staying in your comfort zone permanently is actually a risk, the risk of not growing when the world around you is changing. Now, there are actually 3 zones that psychologists talk about: the comfort zone, familiar, safe, low anxiety; the stretch zone, uncomfortable but manageable, challenging but not overwhelming; and the third, the teaching zone, too far outside your comfort zone, so unfamiliar, so overwhelming that you can't learn. You're too anxious to absorb anything. You just survive. So the goal is the stretch zone, not panic, not comfort. Stretch. The stretch zone is where growth happens, where you're challenged enough to develop, but supported enough to function. That discomfort you feel in the stretch zone, that's not danger, that's growth. Like speaking English with a native speaker for the first time, that's stretch zone for most learners. Yes, not comfortable, but not impossible. Uncomfortable enough to grow. And in English, we say step outside your comfort zone. To step outside means to move beyond the boundaries of what feels safe. Signing up for the public speaking course was Grace stepping outside her comfort zone. A very large step. Yes. Grace, tell me what actually happened at the course. So I walked in. There were 12 people, complete strangers, and the instructor said, everyone will speak for 2 minutes, no preparation. Just introduce yourself and tell us one thing you've never told a room of strangers. No preparation? None. And Jack, I froze. Literally, my mind went completely blank. The first person to go was a man called Thomas, very confident, spoke beautifully. And I sat there thinking, I cannot do this. I teach English. I speak to people every day. How am I this afraid? What happened when it was your turn? I stood up. My heart was going very fast. And I said, my name is Grace. I've been teaching English for years. And the thing I've never told a room of strangers is, I am terrified right now. And quietly, everyone laughed, not unkindly, with recognition, and then 3 other people said, me too. And just like that, the room changed. The fear became connection. The fear became connection. Because everyone in that room was scared, and when I named it, I gave them permission to feel it too. And suddenly, we were all in the stretch zone together, which made it manageable. Naming the fear out loud took away its power. In English, there's a phrase for what Grace did: taking a leap of faith. A leap is a big jump. A leap of faith means jumping into the unknown, trusting that it will be okay, even though you can't be certain. Grace took a leap of faith by walking into that classroom without preparation. A very large step, yes. Another important phrase: unfamiliar territory. Territory means land, space, domain. Unfamiliar territory is ground you haven't been on before, situations or environments you don't know how to navigate yet. Public speaking is unfamiliar territory for many confident people. Or speaking English in a professional meeting, or starting a new job, or moving to a new city, all unfamiliar territory. And in English, we say push your limits or push your boundaries. To push means to extend beyond what's currently comfortable. I push my limits every time I speak English in a situation that challenges me. And embrace discomfort. To embrace means to accept fully and willingly, even enthusiastically. Embracing discomfort means choosing to be in the stretch zone intentionally, seeing the discomfort as a signal that you're growing. So instead of "this is uncomfortable, I should stop," it's "this is uncomfortable, which means I'm in the right place." Exactly. The discomfort is the evidence, not the warning. 3 steps to leave your comfort zone without tipping into panic. Go. Step 1. Choose stretch, not panic. The difference between growth and overwhelm is the size of the step. You don't have to leap across the canyon. You can take 1 step forward into unfamiliar territory, small but real, uncomfortable but survivable. For English learners, instead of "I need to be fluent next month," try "I will speak 1 unrehearsed sentence in English today." That's stretch zone, not panic zone. Step 2. Name the fear out loud. What Grace did in that classroom and what we've talked about throughout this series, naming something reduces its power. Before you step outside your comfort zone, say the fear. To yourself, to someone you trust, even to this podcast. I'm afraid of looking foolish. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid of being judged. When you name it, you can look at it. And when you can look at it, it's less terrifying. The unnamed fear is always bigger than the named one. Exactly. The unnamed fear lives in the dark. The named one you can deal with. Step 3. Find others in the stretch zone. Grace wasn't the only scared person in that room. She just said it first. When you step into unfamiliar territory, look for the others who are stretching too. Community in the stretch zone makes it the stretch zone instead of the panic zone. You're uncomfortable, but you're not alone.
If you're learning English right now, you are in the stretch zone. That's exactly where you should be, and you're not alone. This community is in the stretch zone together.
Vocabulary round. Key phrases from today. Comfort zone.
I've been in my comfort zone for too long. It feels safe, but it's actually holding me back.
Safe but stagnant.
Safe but stagnant describes my last 2 years perfectly. Comfortable, but not growing.
Step outside your comfort zone.
Every time I speak English in an unfamiliar situation, I step outside my comfort zone. And every time, I grow a little.
Leap of faith.
Signing up for this podcast was a leap of faith. I didn't know what I was doing. I trusted it would be worth it.
Unfamiliar territory.
This conversation is unfamiliar territory for me, but unfamiliar territory is where the best things happen.
Embrace discomfort.
I'm learning to embrace discomfort instead of avoiding it. The discomfort is the evidence I'm growing.
That last one. Say it again.
The discomfort is the evidence I'm growing, not the warning, the evidence.
Warm pause. Closing. Jack, what's outside your comfort zone right now? Honestly, having difficult conversations, saying what I actually think when I know someone might not like it. I tend to smooth things over, keep the peace, stay comfortable in relationships even when something needs to be said. That sounds like an important stretch zone. It is, and I think I've been avoiding it because comfortable silence feels safer than uncomfortable truth. Comfortable silence is its own comfort zone. Yeah, it is. Pause. Your challenge this week: write one thing outside your comfort zone in the comments. Not a plan, not a commitment. Just name it. I am uncomfortable with blank, because naming it is the first step.
And if leaving your comfort zone feels especially hard in English, remember, every single episode you watch, every sentence you practice out loud, every comment you write in a language that isn't your first, that is you in the stretch zone, and that is exactly where you need to be.
I'm Grace from the Speak Bench. Real conversations, real English, real you.
And I'm Jack, working on my stretch zone, one uncomfortable conversation at a time. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Safe is comfortable, but the stretch zone is where you become who you're meant to be.